Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. It's your old friend and guide, here with the forecast you've been waiting for. Today we're breaking down the fishing conditions in Ireland for the week of the 9th of February to the 15th of February 2026. Now, I've been studying the charts, and let me tell you, this is not a straightforward week. It's a week for the thinking angler, the patient angler. Why? Because we're dealing with that tricky late winter pre-spawn period where the fish are big but they make you work for it. This week is a proper challenge, but stick with me and I'll give you the inside track on how to find a monster pike or a specimen perch. This isn't about just getting bites, it's about getting the right bite. The fish are getting ready for the spawn. The biggest fish of the year are at their heaviest right now, and this week, my friends, presents a real opportunity to break your personal best. Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about our toothy friend, the pike. The water is cold, so these big predators are conserving energy. That means you need to think slow and deep. The pike are generally holding in deeper water, somewhere between 4 and 8 meters, but the big females will be looking at potential spawning areas in the shallows. My advice is to find the drop-offs. Look for areas where shallow bays with reeds or old weed beds drop off into the main body of the lough. The pike will be patrolling these underwater cliffs. During the warmest part of the day, say from 11 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon, they might move up onto the shelf to feel that little bit of extra warmth. For tackle, this is prime time for a static approach. A ledgered deadbait, like a mackerel or a roach, presented perfectly on the bottom near a drop-off, can be irresistible. If you're a lure angler, you have to slow everything right down. Large, soft plastic shades on a heavy jig head crawled along the bottom, or very slow, sinking jerkbaits with long pauses are the way to go. Forget burning lures back to the boat. You want the lure to hang in the water, just tempting a lazy giant to open its mouth. Next, let's focus on the perch. These guys are schooling up deep for the winter, but just like the pike, the bigger specimens are starting to think about their spring spawn. The key to perch this week is finesse. Light tackle is essential. You're looking for the same kind of areas as pike, deeper holes and drop-offs, but pay close attention to any underwater structure. A submerged tree, a rocky patch, the foundations of an old bridge. That's where you'll find them. They're not going to chase far, so you have to put the bait right on their nose. The absolute killer tactic in these conditions is the drop shot. It allows you to hold a small, soft lure, maybe a 1 or 2 inch creature bait or pintail, perfectly still at the right depth. Let it sit there. Give it tiny twitches. You're not trying to imitate a fleeing fish. You're imitating a small dying fish that is the easiest meal in the world. For bait anglers, a paternoster rig with a big lobworm hooked just once in the head so it can wiggle enticingly is a classic for a reason. It works. Now for the why. Let's break down the conditions for the week. The weather across Ireland is going to be chilly and, no surprise, quite damp. We're looking at air temperatures hovering around 7 to 9 degrees Celsius during the day and dropping to about 3 degrees at night. This means the water temperature is going to be cold, likely in the 4 to 7 degrees Celsius range. At these temperatures, a fish's metabolism is very slow. They feed less often and for shorter periods. That's why our tactics are all about slow, easy to ambush presentations. We can expect a lot of cloud cover and rain, which is actually good news. Those overcast, drizzly days are much better than bright, sunny ones in winter. The biggest weather factor, however, is atmospheric pressure. While we can't predict it perfectly this far out, Irish winters are dominated by low-pressure systems. A steady low pressure is good, but a falling pressure as a front moves in is the absolute best trigger for predators. It's like a dinner bell. Watch your barometer app. If you see the pressure dropping, that's the time to be on the water. The moon phase is also playing a huge part this week. We are starting the week on Monday the 9th with a last quarter moon, with its illumination at 50%. As the week progresses, the moon will wane, shrinking to just 4% illumination by Sunday. In fishing folklore, the days leading up to and just after a new moon can be excellent for fishing, as the darker nights encourage fish to be a little bolder. This waning phase could be very interesting, especially towards the end of the week. Overall fish activity is dictated by the season. This is the pre-spawn period. Big female pike and perch are at their heaviest, full of eggs they need to feed to build up energy for the ordeal of spawning, which typically happens between February and April, but they are also lethargic due to the cold water. This creates a conflict for the fish, the need to feed versus the need to conserve energy. This is what makes the fishing patchy but rewarding. There might be long periods of inactivity followed by a short, intense feeding spell. Your job is to have your bait in the right place when that window opens. So, let's put it all together. Here is my day-by-day breakdown for the week. On Monday, the 9th of February, I'm rating the bite as average. We're on a last quarter moon, a significant transition phase. With the likely cool and damp weather, the fish will be sluggish. The best chance will be a short window around midday. Patience is the key for today. Tuesday, the 10th of February, gets a good rating. The moon is waning, and if we get a slight drop in atmospheric pressure with an incoming weather front, this could be a real trigger point. Focus on those deep water drop-offs with a deadbait for pike. This could be the day for a very big fish. Wednesday, the 11th of February, will be average. The conditions will be quite stable. The fish will have fed if they were going to and might be less active today. It's a day for grinding it out, trying different spots and depths. Finesse tactics for perch might pay off more than waiting for a big pike. Thursday, the 12th of February. I am calling this one tricky. The moon is getting darker, which is good, but a mid-week lull is common. This is a day to try something different. Maybe a brightly coloured lure to provoke a reaction strike, or focus entirely on those tiny movements with a drop-shot rig. Friday, the 13th of February, the bite will be good. It's the start of the weekend, and we're heading into the dark of the moon. Fish often become more active as the weekend approaches due to changes in bankside activity and pressure. I have a good feeling about the evening session on Friday. Saturday, the 14th of February, looks excellent. This is my pick for the best day of the week. The moon is now a tiny sliver with only 10% illumination. The nights are dark. If this coincides with some classic Irish drizzle and low pressure, the big predators will be on the move, fish with confidence all day, but especially at dawn and dusk. And finally, Sunday, the 15th of February, will be good, but fading. The bite should still be on from Saturday's peak, especially in the morning. However, as the day progresses, I expect things to slow down. Get out early, make the most of the morning, and be back home for a warm dinner. So there you have it, friends. That's my forecast for the week. It's a week that demands skill, but the rewards are there for the taking. Remember to wrap up warm, stay safe out there, and as always, tight lines. Please let me know how you get on in the comments below. What are your plans for the weekend? What's your go-to lure in these cold water conditions? I love reading your stories. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more weekly forecasts. Now go out there and catch a monster. Nothing but net, my friends. Nothing but net.